Yeah, she said something like this. Or say, I have received veiled threats that if I don't resign or voluntarily retire, I will be made to suffer harm. Or say, amanfobi sebio a threaten no. Nipebi sebio oma hunahuna no. Oma twene so sekan etuo sebio nipebi abane so. In a form ayenim, it could be through telephone, it could be obi awatwe to one so. It could be say obi the sika be so. Or say nipa bi ehunahuna ne say ono wan resign a sebio na say ananka say ono anka say anje ne wantum and retire. Boni amubedi no Madam Torkornoo, who is the creme de la creme when it comes to Ghana judiciary ne embra e woni tim no, she has refused to go to police to make an official statement. How did the threat come? Was the threat through a telephone call? Was it through email? Was it in person? Was the threat through a gun pointing at your head? How did the threat come? Where did it come from? What exactly did the person say? Why haven't you taken the initiative to report the threat to the police, but to come on national television to tell Ghana that you have been threatened? You are a judge. You are not just a judge. You are the Supreme Court, Chief Justice of our Supreme Court. Right now, you don't even recognize the Ghana Police Service. You have a policeman following you and guarding you every single day. You don't even respect that the police can protect you. So now you want to come on TV to tell we or us that you are being threatened and that you don't know what to do as a Chief Justice. And I am very sure you go everywhere with your security man, with your police. So I don't think the threat was in person, because if it was in person, I know your bodyguard would have taken care of that person. So the threat might have been through your phone, a phone call, an email, a text message, which can be traced. No number in Ghana today. Ghana number be anywhere to be traced no Ghana and there. Was it through an envelope that was thrown in your hand? You need to let us know, because at this point, you are still the Chief Justice who is on suspension. So you need full protection of we Ghanaians. So what stopped you from going to the police to make an official statement? For the Ghana Police Service to issue a statement that the Chief Justice of Ghana has been threatened to resign or voluntarily retire. What stopped you from doing that? Now, you do all these things on TV. What are you trying to prove? You are seeking public sympathy. You are playing on the minds of Ghanaians. You have sat with this committee for days and weeks. Suddenly, you have decided to come on TV. Why? You have been to court before. When the proceedings started, you went to Supreme Court. You did not speak. You did not even come on any radio. Suddenly, to High Court, you are on national television, prime time. Why? Why? Why are you doing what you are doing? We can see through what you are trying to do. We can see what you are doing now. The process will not change. It will not collapse. The law is the law. The process is the process. Now, listen to Torkornoo. She said something. She boldly made a statement. I am confident that in my journey as a lawyer, judge, and now Chief Justice, there is no one person who can look at me in the eye and accuse me of taking a bribe to decide a case. This is the personal treasure of integrity that I live with. You don't have to tell us. We are the ones who are supposed to judge. So, for you to even come out to tell Ghana for say, menje bribe da. And a menje bribe and decide assembly da. And no ne idea chese me Torkornoo. The question here is, who gives the bribe and who takes the bribe? Are you the one to judge your actions, or we are the ones to judge your actions? The office you are occupying is a state office. It's a national office. We decide your conduct. You don't decide your conduct. Now, this woman wants everything we are talking about now, and yet the committee hearing and the petition against her, she wants to trim it down to her and what she has done and what she hasn't done. Madam, you have not taken bribe. But it is not only bribe and you have basically gone against the ethics of your job. It is not just taking bribe. If you were just taking bribe, you wouldn't be sitting in front of a committee. It goes beyond you taking bribe from somebody. It even goes beyond you thinking as a normal Chief Justice. Your position can even influence decisions. You know that. Your position as a Chief Justice, you don't need to ask somebody for bribe. Your daughter benefited millions of cedis from Ghanaians because of your position. We were here when your daughter, you as the Chief Justice, your daughter got a juicy contract of almost $500,000 just to design a room for Ghana Judiciary. Your position, where you sit, you don't have to take a bribe. Your position and where you sit can influence a process. So don't limit this conversation to who you are and what I have not done. It's about the process. Were you the person who did this? Did you follow due process, the ethics of your job? Did you follow the ethics? Because your position as a Chief Justice, it helped your daughter to get a contract worth millions. And this is the invoice your daughter issued. And we are talking about 438,000 old Ghana cedis, almost 5 billion. And that contract was to decorate the judiciary, restaurant, and library. If it wasn't for your influence and where you sit, do you think your daughter will get this contract? No. So it is not about you taking bribe or not. It's about your conduct, how you conducted yourself. Nobody has accused you of taking bribe. Nobody has accused you anywhere for taking bribe from anybody, but your conduct, how you conducted yourself in your office. You being a Chief Justice alone, how did your influence affect even procurement processes at the judiciary? The same secretary your secretary, the same person who led your daughter to secure that contract, which you signed for her to make that money, you actually at the end of the day nominated that secretary, suggested the secretary to the president to make her go to the Supreme Court. It is about your conduct. It is about where you sit, where you position yourself, the damage you are doing with that your influence. What you are doing is childish. That is what we are talking about. It is not somebody walking to you and giving you money. So don't divert the substance. We are talking about your conduct. We are talking about what your position, what you used it for, directly and indirectly to benefit you. In this awoba, and your contract way, and you the one who signed this contract, you green light it, then you need to be questioned on your attitude, your ethics, and how you respect the rule of law. So, madam, it is not about you taking bribe. It is about us checking what you have used that position to do. Do you get it? And do not ever sit anywhere else and start talking about, I have not taken bribe and nobody can say you have taken bribe. Of course, we don't know. We have never mentioned anywhere that you have taken bribe. But we can talk about your conduct in the office, how it influenced decision making. And not just in favor of your daughter, it favored your secretary. These are the things we are talking about. Conflict of interest. Conflict of interest. And conflict of interest can generate into corruption. Because conflict of interest can make your daughter get a contract which she did not deserve to get. And that is corruption. You are still failing to understand. You are still not using your senses. You are making politicians mislead you. Just apply the common sense that you have. Put your emotions and your arrogance aside. Bring yourself to that Dole level. Do not think we are stupid. You stood on your legs for almost an hour. Trash talk. You tried to malign the government, the presidency, malign your colleague judges. You malign a process that has been legitimately put together. You could not state one law. You could not base your statement on one law to say the process from day one to the day to today, it has been flawed. You could not state one law. but you were passing commentaries. You don't respect us. You want to play jandam with us. You are playing to the gallery. You are now putting people's lives at stake. You want people to go after people. You are now trying to drag a political party into this matter. You are bringing those tribalistic, those people who create their own history. Oh, don't you remember NDC? Today, there's a house. That is where my uncle used to stay. Madam, be focused. What you are doing is childish. It is not going to save you, because the matter in front of the committee, they are looking at the facts, not how you feel. How you feel is your own property. You felt you wanted to go to high court. You can go, but it does not change the process. The process must still go on. Now, this is what she said when it came to her travels. Her travels. Traveling with my husband and daughter is part of my condition of service as Chief Justice. Yes. And you see, when she got there, Mr. S, do you have her travels video for me? Let me see if I can find it. Mr. S, do you have her travels for me? Yes. Let's watch this.
In 2 allegations, he's complaining that I misappropriated public funds to buy a ticket for my husband and my daughter to travel with me. In answer to this, I handed over my letter of appointment to prove that in my conditions of appointment as Chief Justice, Ghana graciously gave me 2 vacations in a year. In the Judicial Service Travel Policy, since 2010, the Chief Justice can never travel alone for security reasons. And the Chief Justice is always allowed to travel with a spouse or another person of their choice. So traveling on my officially given vacations with my husband on 1 occasion and my daughter for the 2nd vacation is part of the official conditions of my appointment as Chief Justice. I was also not responsible for buying the tickets in question, such that I could be said to have misappropriated the value of the tickets. Indeed, if the Judicial Service was not allowed to buy the tickets for my vacation, the remedy was for the Auditor General to surcharge me to refund the money. Anyone can check out the 2023 accounts of Judicial Service and know for themselves that there is no surcharge against me or anyone for the tickets that were purchased for my vacations. Ms. Ofori seems to be alleging that I should have traveled with my police escort alone on vacation and not a family member. And this is why he wants me removed from office. And I'm being tried or held behind the walls of a Edu Lodge. Ladies and gentlemen, the question to be asked is, why would anyone demand that I go on vacation given to me as Chief Justice with my police security instead of going with my husband or my daughter? And how can this be a reason for subjecting a Chief Justice to a committee of inquiry?
So you see, when she got to her travels, what she deliberately did was that, and we have done this story, she lumped it together. See, my travels. At a point, she said, the travels is part of a condition of service, which we understand. At a point, she said, travel with her husband on 1 occasion and her daughter on a 2nd vacation. Now, what she tried to do was that was the beginning. As some way by an NPP for an year, she decided to lump private travels and official travels together. Official and unofficial travel. She lumped the 2 together. Into Okache Ghana for Ejuma me no. Nyome bi a wo ho say meso mitumi den ekojima home. Inti dia na kire say mintumi ni me kunu ene me ba entu kwan. na abrante na ode me kogina committee nanim no osimin tumi ne me kunu ene me ba entu kwan emeye ma mo pe diem moko auditor general nkrata mu a mobehu se eye me ndeka bia anka auditor general betata me. But what she failed to tell you is say oh, you are entitled to travel or travel on vacation. There is official travel, which is aban adwuma na wokoye. And your private travel, which is a one kasa and a woko akwaji wa home for leisure, for anything you want. Now what she did was she put the two together. Send your beya unhu baby odi boneno. The petitioner was telling or was questioning Torkornoo that Torkornoo, it is true. Your condition of service lecture say you can take a year vacation. But the same condition of service, no, it states it explicitly. Say, when you are going on official trip, this is what you get. And when you are going on a year private trip, this is what you get. So there are two pegs to one travel. Now, the travel is a big package, but within the travel, there is a private and there is the official. So, as an official capacity to work, the perks in it are different from traveling on vacation, which is not official. She basically decided to talk about the general traveling, but she decided not to go into the kind of travel she made. She's diabolic. She knows what she's doing. And you see, or a judge. She has read psychology. She has read what we call communication. She's able to read between the lines. To confuse you, to give her what she wants. Because when you tell me that you have the right to travel as a Chief Justice and it's part of your condition of service, I agree with you. Even the president, he can travel. But there are some travel the president will make. They are official and some are unofficial. There are some travel the president will take some kind of perks, and there are some travel he wouldn't be given that kind of perks. So you need to break it down what the petitioner was asking. Not you traveling with your husband or with your guard. The petitioner was asking you the specific travels you made. What were the perks and how did you use it? Did you abuse it? That is the question. But what she did was that she lumped the travels together. Look at me. I can travel with my husband. On one occasion with my daughter and the second with my husband. She is not being specific. She's generalizing the thing because she wants to drag you along with her sympathy. You know, she wants to go on a sympathy journey with you. She knows what she's doing. She is cracking. She's cracking. She's playing on the conscience of Ghanaians. She's buying public sympathy. It was on this show, show her travels and what the Judicial Audit Service extra for the travels. Now, Judicial Audit Service, when they were writing the report, they were specific and they used specific statements. For official and unofficial. How can you just come and tell Ghana for say, I cannot travel with my husband and on occasion on my second? No, let us know what the petitioner is asking. The petitioner is asking specific question. Did you abuse the specific travel you made? And which travel did you make? Was it official? Did you use the right pegs? Did you abuse that peg? That is what you're asking. That is why when you were saying, say, you have not taken bribe before, I don't care about you not taking bribe. It is your conduct. Your conduct can influence a lot of things, especially from where you sit. Do not hide behind generalization of statements and making it look like what can something vague until we should fall for it. No, there's a reason why we are being specific and asking specific questions, because we demand reasonable answers. That's why I told you, say, what actually influenced you to come and do this? Because Saud himself was saying, intact. Give it to your lawyer. Don't even make a public statement. Let your lawyer go to court and defend this or and make a case for you. But what you are doing is, in the first place, now call court, Supreme Court, one TV, so other than that, the High Court, TV, so open public, to drag us with you to the court. You cannot judge this case in public. The process needs to be completed. The process, we need to go through the process. Now, thank you very much, team. Let me read this to you. This is from the Judicial Services. One say me read me bought the video the show. Now, when you read the Judicial Service report in the Bible, this is what they wrote. Torkornoo is diabolic. Be very careful. That woman, she's dangerous. From end of the no, she's on a mission. Now, the Judicial Service travel policy. This is the policy. Now, when you take your time and analyze the policy, thank you, team. Thank you, Mr. S. I need, how many are they? There are 3, right? Or there are 2. Okay, I'll read the second one. Now, they have policy. The Judicial Service, they have travel policy. Now, the travel policy, what does it say? Make sure I try Torkornoo edi. Now, let me read that. It says this. The Judicial Service travel policy, revised in 2019, outlines entitlement for official travel by judicial officers, including the Chief Justice. Key points include, the word be sure, official travel. Ask yourself why the Judicial Service travel policy, they put a word official travel there. There's a reason. It is signaling that what you're about to talk about is strictly linked to official travel. So when you go into official travel, what does it say? Official travel must be authorized by the Judicial Secretary or relevant approving authority. 2, the Chief Justice is entitled to per diem, airfare, and accommodation for official assignments. Security personnel may, so it's optional. You can decide to drop the security personnel or go with the security personnel. The security personnel may accompany the Chief Justice on official trips, especially for international engagement. All expenses must be accounted for with receipts, and any unused interest, that is advance funds, must be returned. Now you come and tell us that your travel, now you cannot travel with your husband. You cannot travel with your daughter. I'm asking you, when you traveled with your husband and your daughter, was it an official travel or was it private travel? Because we are the ones paying. In your statement, why were you not specific about your travels? Now, when you move forward and you look at the Judicial Service travel policy, now read this one. This is what we call private travel rules. So they actually have rules for official travels and they have rules for private travels. Torkornoo kasano olampi ni nyina bomu baako e do dadao. But the petitioner was asking specific questions. Now, what the private travel rules, DNECA, I say private travels treated differently. Now, the Chief Justice may not use state funds to cover expenses for personal travels. Chief Justice, you may decide to use your own money. Did you use your own money on this private travel? No, you use government money. So the rules apply here. Did you flout the law? The rules apply here. Did you go by the ethics? The rules apply here. Do not lump things and throw things to the people. Break it down if you are willing to speak on the matters. Now, family members, spouses or children, it says family members, spouses or children are not entitled to travel at the state expense unless explicitly approved under exceptional circumstances. Yasi oyire, okunu, oba, they are not supposed to travel some special circumstances. Obakache say you are traveling with your husband and your daughter. Which kind of travel are you talking about? Because I've read 2 types of travels to you. When you go down there, it says this: if the Chief Justice chooses to travel with family during personal leave, those costs must be borne privately. Yes, it's a Chief Justice here. Now you say, on one person 2 coin, on the bush for 2 coin, on the crew 2 coin, na enya Benjamin Okoya, also on what chiaka. Did you do that? You know the law. The law is the law. The law is the law. So you went even ahead to pay per diem to your daughter. Does the private travel allow that? Does the official travel allow that? Specify where the travel is. Don't just vaguely come and say, I cannot travel with my husband and another occasion with my daughter. No, be specific. The petitioner is asking specific questions. The 2019 policy reportedly stated that only security detail may accompany the Chief Justice on private travel for safety reasons. You say only security. It will call private, but in the beginning, you say optional. You can decide. You can choose to. But for your security reasons, only security detail may. It is conditional. You can choose to drop the security. If you think your security, you can take care of yourself. Into which one were you talking about? The law is the law. This woman came on TV today to deliberately decide to lie to Ghanaians. So when you would say, "En you Ghanaian sem, I'm faith in sem no obi twa watro, obi create impression bia to team. Hey, ade obey in there wa rehearse it for weeks. She has rehearsed this. Even her body language, her dressing, she has rehearsed this. What na say ake kensie ni onim de no oye. Onjimi yo, oye very intelligent woman. She is doing everything possible to maneuver. And you start free a year if you know your friend saying they be obodino. Sa if you know be body they dino obo ha. They be no beso kai. It don't say why study ni pa. Say okasa obon say edu lodge. They be okasa no their shame. Okasa no their shame. What she's trying to do is to always break your mind, send you back that they want to kill me. That's where they kill judges. This is the NDC. She knows what she's doing. This is communication. I've done communication. I know what she's doing. Into okasa kakra no they do lodge abishim. Okasaka cry no they do lodge abishim. It is somebody watching. If you do lodge cry, it will come back because what she's trying to do is to drag the NDC JJ Rawlings. Sa atrono muchato Rawlings say we could judges. No, she wants to link the NDC to that and say me too. I'm a judge today. That's what they want to do. And she deliberately, as she speaks, she'll put a do lodge inside. Okasaka cry no they do lodge abishim. What she's doing is she's keeping that word active in your brain.